Salina mai naki aloha and welcome to another episode of Nā Loea Limu. Today we're here down in Ho'okena with Kawika, who's going to tell us a little bit about his life during his experiences down in the ocean, whether it was on Oahu or on Big Island or wherever he's been throughout his life. And we're just going to get to hear a little bit from him about growing up. So welcome up, Kawika. Thank you for
having me. Yeah.
I think first off, I wanted to start just with the place that we're in, and maybe you can talk a little bit about specific names of the places or significant to specific places.
So where we are right now, this is Ho'okena Beach. Welcome. I actually live off Nauka from here. My grandparents and great-grandparents were raised up there. This beach is Ho'okena Beach. This used to be the pier. We call Kupa Landing, the Hawaiians call it, but more better known by the white people as Cooper Landing. And they would bring the cattle down from the mountain, and there's a well right there in the corner, and there's good young water, and they put them all on the ships over here and ship the cattle off from Hilo on the mainland and wherever they went. That side is called Kuhao, where the stand is. This side over here, more west of us, is called Kealia. That point from there is Paladuki. And so the folks who live here did most of their living, fishing, cleaning, all of that right here on this beach. And yes, I come from my grandma, my great grandma, who is Oi Alani. And she's my grandma's mom, and my grandma is Sophie Hi'ile Kaina, married to my godfather, Charles Kaina. And yeah, so my grandmother grew up here. She went to Ho'okena School back in 1920. That school's been there this long. And she would tell us stories about having to stay home and work on the lauhala until she heard the bell ring, and then she'd have to run over there and hopefully make it to class before she was late. But anyway, they grew up on the beach right here. They would come down and get sand, take it back out, build their cement, whatever they had to do. Great-grandma, younger farmers and fishermen, that's what they want.
Yeah. Did you have any experiences, or maybe they just told you stories about them coming down here? What would they fish for, or maybe picking them what kinds of lemurs maybe would they take down here?
Okay, yes. Nemo is a very big part of Hawaiian culture. You learn the different ones. There's Limu Ele, that's the one that grows in the freshwater streams, and the Limu kohu that grows on the short reef over here. That's the one they usually put in, chili pepper water or michigiter, poke, whatever they caught, what kind of fish. It mix all of that different limu, just huli waina and mawaiole and all these different kinds of limu. I even know the name for ogo, and I'm thank you. Nā Loea, yes, exactly. But those are the most typical kinds of limu that we grew up with. I didn't really grow up on this island per se. I did on the summer times, but I didn't grow up here. I grew up in Honolulu, where my grandparents raised me. And we would go to Mokolehia if we wanted the limu falls. Limu ko is the most prized limu of all the limus. You put it in a ball, you keep it in the freezer. You can shave a little bit off, put it in the chili pepper water. It's definitely putting it in poke and, poke, whatever fish that you caught, you would put that kind of limu in there. But there's like a protocol. There's a way to pick limu. You cannot rip the limu off of the reef because you destroy the roots, and then the limu cannot go back. The Hawaiians are always about propagating and cultivating for the next generation. You know, I got that beaten into my head about, you know, think about your keiki and the next keiki and all the keiki that's going to come, keiki your children, but who's going to come after you. And you have to leave something for them and teach them also how to care for the limu and for the land. Not just limu, but fish, whatever you're catching out here. You feed the fish. You know, you don't just catch the fish. You feed them, you grow them, and then you take them. You know, I mean, that is how we grew up. You know, my brother and I were so fortunate to be raised by our grandparents. The old school people, you know, people who've been there since the turn of the century. You know, back then, even the lights were called pupui.
Yeah.
Because they used pupui for candle or for light. So when you say turn off the light, it's pupui, right? We always thought that was how you said turn off the light, you know? I mean, but, you know, the old school way, the Hawaiians always took care. I don't care if you lived on the mountain. The things you're growing even in your yard, kalo, you know, taro or bananas or whatever, you know, you actually try to move them around. And every like 6-7 years, you let the land rest. Then you plant it back again, you know, and you save the cuttings from what you harvest to put back in the ground. And you malama them. You take care of it. You know what I mean?
Like sustainability.
Sustainability. It was always about sustainability. And for the next person. You never thought about your own self. You know, so greed is looked down upon. You know, you don't race to the poi bowl, you know. And you definitely give thanks, you know, before you eat, you know. And it's just a simple thing like that. And I remember even the kala, you know, there's a big fish called kala with the horn on it.
But you also do
Grandma, take us out on the reef. She said, you see this? This is the kala limu. Pick that, put that on the hook. Okay, it's a hand line. You got your fishing line, and you tie a little wooden stick, you know, a garbage stick, and you throw it in the hook. And I mean, you're pulling a big kala with limu. I mean, we used to eat turtle too. There's the turtle limu. You can bring the turtle into them, you know, they will come. You follow the water, you know. You limu. And limu honu. And you follow the water with that, and the honu would come in, and you go grab them, and you eat that. And you don't just eat that. You know, it sounds cruel. Okay, the honu, it's a shame that the Hawaiians cannot eat that now. I mean, Grandpa, the first goggles I ever used in my life, Grandpa made them out of bamboo and the shell, the turtle shell, sanded and sanded and sanded so fine that it's clear. And then the string is how bark from the how tree. And it's a process of processing the how bark too. But you make your rope out of that, you know, with your bamboo and your turtle shell, and you tie it around, and you go.
I mean, it's clear now.
And it's clear, and you go dive. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's not clear like glass.
Yeah.
But you can see better than you can without it. That's for sure.
Wow,
Yeah. That's the kind of upbringing I had as a child. We lived with Grandma and Grandpa until I was 12. And then, went back with my parents. But I will never forget that. You know, and it's not just that. Okay, we went fishing with our net. You would catch, like limu would be stuck in your net. And Grandma would say, hey, don't just throw that away, you know, because the limu, you can actually fertilize your garden. I mean, people don't really realize the Hawaiians didn't waste anything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just pulling it off my net and flying it, and Grandma's like, whoa, what you doing?
Yeah.
Just throw that away. You know, there's a use for that. You know? Yeah.
They'd actually shake it a few times on that and use it.
Yeah. I mean, mostly that kind of stuff you just take home there to dry out, and chop it up and mix it in with your soil and your dirt and all that, and home and boil with pan.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's definitely useful. That's kind of what we were or what I wanted to ask you about too, just like maybe different ways that you remember eating limu or preparing limu, or the different kinds of ways that you prepare limu, and also, yeah, other these just like, you know, fishing with limu. So you just get your first like, show me different things that people don't realize.
So limu kohu, you could get slapped if you did that wrong. You know, you pinch them.
Uh-huh.
You pinch it, but you bring it home. It's still not clean.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's sand particles in it, and nobody wants to hear the crunchies. Because if you didn't clean it good, you can hear it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, who cleaned the limu kohu, right? I mean, like the limu kohu was the, you know, the limu to be had, you know, the horns. But that one, you know, we mostly catch reef fish.
Mm-hmm.
Like the reef uhu, the panunu, right?
Mm-hmm.
Grandma's, her favorite thing was to make lonely that, you know, and then she bust the panunu ake in there. You to limu kohu. Okay, I don't know about you. You gotta be Hawaiian to the max to eat that one. Like, I mean, you can smell it, you can taste it, but you know, I imagine, you know, the ancestors who came before us, that was a delicacy, right? Like, that was a meal fit for the elites, you know what I mean? So yeah, we learn how to do that stuff, right?
I think, did you mention that fishing on
Yeah, too.
next to me?
Of course. You know, and that one, grandma, like, because you don't only have one. You're in a pond, and I guess you guys call it kiddie ponds.
The tide pools.
The tide pools. Yeah, tide pools. There's the little baby fish, and we're there before the sun comes up. So the fish are invisible, but you can barely see the stripes, you know, manini or, you know, ohole, whatever the baby fish are in the pond. It's called ohua. So when you get done cleaning all your wana, you had your little fish nets just laying in there the whole time you're cleaning your wana. You actually pick up your fish nets and the fish are in there. The ohua. You can still see them, and you mix that with the one and ele, you know, chop up the ele and throw that inside there. I mean, people would fight for that, you know. It was so delicious, but you can imagine, you know, grandma had, you know, 11 children. So when you go fishing, you're bringing back plenty. They're not bringing back this little bowl full of, you're bringing back on fire. So fishing is work.
Mm-hmm.
Fishing is a job that you have to do, you know. I mean, it's just, and you've grown up in definitely being thankful to be able to work and strong enough to work and being safe, especially know the tides, know when you can pick. Okay, that's another thing. If the limu is exposed on the reef and the tide is too low, you don't go pick it then. Because you'll damage it, you know? Because the sun will beat down on the broken parts of the limu and kill it. But you gotta know that too. You know, there's a time and a season for everything. You know, you can't just pick one all year long. This tree over here is called a kamani tree. When the fruit or the hoa on this tree comes out, the wana is fat. It's time to go pick one. So the rest of the year, you let them grow, right? But yeah, and then limu, wana, fish, planting, everything has a season. Yeah. And honestly, limu is a very, very big part of our own culture. It is. And I'm real thankful for what you're doing, because it's being raped, because nobody is taking care of the practices that we were taught when we were growing up. No one is. And because of that, there's beautiful people like you that are trying to propagate that in their labs and put it back out into its natural habitat so that we could eat that again, right? Get it back to where it should be, right?
Because that's one thing that you were talking about too. I don't know. We were at the top listening to people talk about like locally and fisheries management. And somebody was talking about how their kūpuna used to like eating Hokkien or like yellow tank.
Mm.
And we are talking about how ono, like what you crave has changed
Right.
to prevent people like even we're cooking maybe cravings. This young get like the Oahu and sharing and now we we're like how the
Right.
palettes, how people's palettes have kind of changed over time. Have you seen that change in your lifetime, and do you think that's something that's affecting?
Absolutely. Okay. And it's kind of sad too, because there's been this awakening for the tourists for the food that we eat. You know, before they would come and say, ew, I'm not eating that. Or, are you going to cook that? You know, especially with the Lana. But now, after seeing all this cooking shows and all of that, they want that. And so now it's being raped and harvested at such a just unprecedented amount that it's not being able to be replenished as fast as it's being harvested. Okay, so, and then now they only want the special cuts of even that. And the special cuts of, you know, what? Okay,
We're talking about waste too, and I talk it up. Eating out there, and people aren't used to eating the whole fish. So teaching people, like they just want the fillets. So teaching people how to use that in that way too.
what do you do with the parts that you don't?
It's gonna know if that's what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah, okay. You know,
Compared to
Grandma's hair would be standing straight up in the air right now. You know,
Yeah.
you eat every part of it, right? I mean, and by the way, coffee is kind of an invasive species over here. So eat as much of that as you can. By the way, the fish is delicious.
Yeah. So
I love coffee. I think
Yeah.
they should be selling that.
that's what they're trying to do.
You know, like market that, you know, and give the rest of the fish chance to, you know, catch up, come back at least. But you know, even okay, not just the colony, the limu.
Mm.
Okay, like I was saying, there's the LL, right? Okay, the little opopolos fish, they love that LL. I mean, for real. You put that on the hook.
Hey man, really?
I mean, they're little. But you know when you got like 15 of those in the frying pan, woo! And you catch them on the LL. I don't know, do you remember that, guys? I'm telling you, man, you put the LL on the hook.
Really?
There you go. It's a good bait. Excellent bait. Exactly. I mean, but it's only in the typos way.
Yeah.
The opopolo is so small, right? You know, you're not going to catch them on in the deep, but yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I'll see that. Any like medicinal uses that you remember for limu?
Well, limu po has iodine in it already. If you eat it on that reef, they squeeze that on that. Ooh, you can sing a little bit, but the iodine was to cure it, you know, and fix it, right? That's like the fresh cuts that you get from the reef. Now you rub that limu po into your cuts.
You stand.
Yeah. Uncle Billy them. Yeah, exactly, my brother. Yeah. But it's got to be the limu po because it has that red, or even the is it the little one, the one with that one has the red in it. That one too, but
Super dark.
slimy that one. It's way dark. And it looks like a lettuce, right?
Oh, I think you're talking about
It's
the red,
it's red lettuce limu, right?
like bright.
Yeah, well, that one has a lot of iodine in it.
That's jalapeno maybe. Limu lata.
You tell me that. To my shame, mom tells me they weren't allowed to speak Hawaiian in school, and they were growing up. So my olelo Hawaii one thing at best.
Did you used to find that where you were at?
Yes, a lot. Okay, that's not more on the non-food side. Um, and you know the limu kohu is mokuli. You go over there for that. And I mean, there was like literally. I went back there after I came, back home from the military, and it was almost just gone, like wiped out, because people don't know how to pick it for one thing. As soon as they found out where it was, they overfished it. You know, homeless people. You got everybody, Micronesians, Hawaiians,
I just
everybody.
saw
They're
my
gonna be-
people too.
And they're all hungry, and they don't care about propagating it. They care about eating right now. It's a shame.
Yeah.
It really is. So when I see like what you folks are doing, that's really blessing my heart a lot. I mean, nobody cared about putting it back. You know, I got the sports. I didn't bring the chili pepper water. I actually made it with that.
Oh,
Woo!
oh, the puffball.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Oh man,
The flavor.
it's real.
Yeah.
It's like I picked it right off the reel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's way more potent.
Yeah.
So you don't need so much.
Yeah.
Little bit inside there.
Yeah. See, I think American spear that is the.
Dude.
We would say it's like the iodine and the iron and stuff, but I think some of it is from that.
104
Down like we're
trying to remember my homework lesson. It's teaching us from corn.
I think that's
right?
the flavor, like that's the flavor. And of course, we're growing it. We're like putting it in specific conditions so that it grows with higher amounts of that. So that's probably
Right.
what it's like.
Right, you were trying it on the pea shell and
Yeah,
trying it
Well,
on the little plastic pieces. Yeah.
that's for like our,
Very educational.
yeah.
I felt way out of my league over there.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was, I didn't know about a lot of other, I've heard stories, but even just hearing about, I heard the kawa story with fishing, and I heard about the ele, or even just like using, rubbing the limo. Yeah, I've heard about like anemia or some article of anemia, you're poking planet, because the iron and that.
Yes, it does. It boosts up your iron. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Atuineki actually had, just before he died, he was battling. So he was going through his the Lomi, Hawaiian Lomi regiment, right? So the foods he was eating was limu and high in that. So he could build up his iron. Mamasi tea, and that kind of stuff with all the antioxidants. But like that. So you knew Atuineki, he forgot more about Hawaii than I'll ever know. So all his medicinal stuff came right here. The doctors, it's always, the Hawaiian remedy, the old, that kind of, yeah, thank you. There's the word. Kind of tripping over, man. I'm not trained in those young folks are more.
But no, nice that, there's a thing that kept Lutz's church.
I
But can you call my sure I still trying to bend?
Right.
That's a document. But then Pop said, oh, yeah, we used to use this to feel this, or if you was sick with this thing, we would
Right.
that kind of really have to choose kind of the purpose with what we're doing at this project.
Well, even, Grandma said something about it's good for your joints. Like if you get older, I guess that's where the scientists came up with the bioactin stuff, because it helps out with your joints. Well, the Hawaiians knew that way back then, you know what I mean? Feed them limu, Yes. See those old people over there? It's feet. Who pays like lemon?
What would you say your first favorite, like for the flavor? What are you?
I'm gonna make a lot of Hawaiian mad. But that fat green one with the tomato, all the Hawaiians like, and they don't like that. No, Wawaiola. Now,
Yeah.
I like that. And then the second one would do Fogo, of course. Everybody's favorite is Venus Fogo.
Yeah.
But LA, that's like, we weren't even allowed. Only the grown-ups get out of that. Yeah. Because you gotta be real careful with it. Wash is real good. And it's like air. You can see grandma, doing this in the water. And we were not to touch it because we're gonna bust them up and destroy them. Yeah, we can taste a little bit and they'll get away. Yeah. And then, so I don't really know about that one that much, but I like it. But it's not my favorite.
You've had a little weird contact.
It's yes, it's there is kind of a slime, and it's when you bite it, it's just this last minute crunch and that you can never get rid of. Like even after you're done eating, it's still do that crunch in the back.
Yeah.
But it's delicious. But it's not as potent as the taste you get from kohus or
Do you think that's the reason everybody loves bogies?
Exactly, it is a taste. You can't get away from that. Yeah, it's delicious.
Even compared to like, now the main the great style like in sport.
Yes, no, it doesn't. And although it's actually more of a Japanese thing.
Yeah.
But of course, we put it in a poke and all of that. So the name is just
Nā Loea.
Nā Loea, yes.
Yeah, Nā Loea.
Right, yeah.
Did you haven't seen that limu like here in the
No, that, okay. Tambo Industrial, Apple Beach, was tons of oval over there. Over here, you have to go more like, actually down by the Honolulu Harbor. You could get some over there, but it's not big time like it is in Honolulu. In fact, I think they ship all of that over here.
Yeah, I think you were mentioning earlier that you can't just go one place and make
Right.
all that variety.
No, there's no way. Okay, so I live all in Honolulu is Grandma's favorite area and it's Connie. Because, water would come down between the Waianae mountain range and between, Waiua. And there was like just flowing beds of it. I've never seen anything like it. And, Grandma, you cannot tell people where our spotting to. And so we never did, But that for LA was Aliva. And then for Limu was Mopulea. Mopulea is just beds of it, as far as you can see. And then, but for the little Waina, all on the west side, Makaha and Waina, Nanapui, plenty over there. Even the purple dark yellows thing. Yeah, that's all across the planet over there.
Remember Lipoa?
Oh, yeah. Wow. The songs about that is true.
It's now.
The smell is just, you can't miss it, But, we never did compete that so much. I wish, because.
You said it was kind of not as prevalent too.
Yeah, it was. And then that wasn't, Grandma wasn't really on for that. I mean, but what, the people used to bring it from Honolulu, all of our uncles and aunties and all of them, they would bring the fall over there and wow, it tastes good, right? And the smell of it too. The smell of the fall.
Yeah.
Okay, that, I think on New Folks Island, Maui, there's plenty before, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, there's not much, but.
Well, it used to be in Marcus Key, it's like that.
That's before they dredged it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Now the hotel is paying and it changed the water quality.
You think?
In Waikiki, right? It used to be famous. Like there's so many songs about the smell from Waikiki, but like a
Mom used to dance that. Yeah.
sweet smell. Right? Yeah, we definitely have Lipoa. I haven't really seen Lipoa there But
I heard it.
or Oahu, or another one that I remember seeing like towards one side, like coming in the Sandies days for that.
Oh, right.
You type eh?
Yes.
Do you know?
Okay. Well, even again, we never got around really to that side of the island unless we were visiting family.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, shipping them would bring that stuff down. And of course, they would catch opie over there and all of that we don't have on the other side.
Huh?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. And I love the green one. I don't care.
Oh,
After they cook it, I'm like, yeah, we just wasted that. The green one that I don't know why. We thought, oh, I'm from Little Limu. Said there too. Oh my God. Yeah. It's fine. It's like, damn.
sounds like you guys also just ate, sprinkle ring onto everything.
Well, yeah. I mean, you try. Well, there's different ways too, right? I mean, like I said, in the chili pepper water, in your poke, in your lomi, because poke and lomi are two different things. Lomi is you
Mm-hmm.
like mashing it all together, right? But yeah, I mean, it's very different uses for different things. You're gonna have, like a whole day,
How do you think you kind of touched it already, but how do you think? What have you seen in the other? How do you think the legal populations along the coastlines have changed?
None of the places are the same. They're not. And half of that is because in my generation, it was important to propagate that and regenerate it and to keep it thriving, to cultivate it instead of just harvesting it.
Mm-hmm.
So the children nowadays, the generation of Hawaiians that are growing up, don't really care about any of that anymore. There are some, a select few, especially the ones who actually grow up over here. There's some of them here. I mean, their fathers and mothers are nieces and nephews now, and they're passing it on to them. It's a shame. A lot of people are moving away too because it's just too expensive to live here. So there isn't anybody left to malama na aina.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't anybody left to carry it on or teach to the next generation. My own kids are gone. But they don't want to do that. I'm ashamed of that, really, and I blame myself a lot for that. When you grew up, life was tough, and you did that because you have to, and that's the way it's supposed to be, right? But the kids are kind of over that kind of
Totally good.
discipline and martial law and that kind of stuff, which not martial law, but it kind of was. You get it drilled into you, right? And so now they're gone and they don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, if they could just really know and learn it, if I could do it all over again, I would listen to them and teach them.
Mm-hmm.
I would share it in an aloha or in a way that they would love it as much as I do.
Mm-hmm.
That's my fault. Yeah, if anybody sees this, I want you to actually try to pay attention to the young ones and teach them what you can while you can. Because you can bring this land back to what it used to be.
Yeah, and I think this also as a kind of positive outlook too, because there are still young people that
Yes,
come
there
back
is.
to, but yes, a lot of it has been lost throughout the years. But I think there's a lot happening. Hopefully, that we're working to kind of provide some of the practices and even just document, even just tongues.
Well, you're a bright shining part of that because you're in the generation who doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
But you do. I mean, look what you're doing, Jeff. And thank you
We're
for that.
learning.
Mahalo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, that gives me encouragement that it's going to be
hope.
okay.
There's hope.
There's hope, yes, and it's going to be okay. It's a good thing.
I mean, I think it's gonna take some time and the more people can get in trouble. But part of it does just come from education, learning about it and getting people, even other people are trying to stretch, kind of leave the bottom for you. that we used to eat just so that if you're going out there, so you can care about it, if you're eating it, you depend on it as a resource, you're more likely to care
Right.
and to pay attention and to want food.
When I grew up, it was natural to see a ball of limu kohu in grandma's freezer. And then see her out there, she had the top, the cleaver. And she would shave a little bit, wrap it back up, put it back in the freezer. The one bowl of poi in the middle of the table, everybody used from that. It was just, that was home, that was how life was. Yeah. Bring that back again.
Yeah, that's what
Bring that back.
getting visual food. And it's kind of cool hearing about all the memories that comes. Even just like you think you have the flavor and then remembering all the stuff that comes to mind and the things like the flavor of that in the time. The point one.
It was Ohana. Yeah. It was everybody. Keiki first. And then all the ones. And then the parents at the end. But the last person on the table, can't eat a bowl. Put away the chili pepper water. Put the bowl back in the speaker.
Yeah. Well, what's the one thing I guess that you could recommend that a piece of advice that you
Okay, for the keiki, for the young ones, jump in the water. Go pick limu. I mean, come check me out. I'll teach you how. Kimchi, make it, cook it. Palm.
yeah.
Clean it.
Yeah.
Make cookie, make raw meat. Make that. Put it in your food, and eat it. Taste it. Get it the practice of watching it even. Quickly watch it, how long it takes to grow back. And then, you actually be like, oh, I gotta take care of that.
Yeah.
Because I want it to come back. I want to see it get back. I want to come back there next year and go, woo, look at it, I get big again, Get excited about eating Hawaiian food, about being Hawaiian and learning about it. Get in the water, put your goggles on, go see where the limu lives. Do that.
Understand that.
For real. If you could see, the kohu swaying in the waves, they should write a song about them. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm not lying, right? Oh my God. Yeah. And then, you get in touch with it. And then you actually do care about it now. You lama that and you want it. And then when you eat it, of course, like you love it. So amazing. Oh yeah. Real poi too. Real cow in your yard.
The whole thing.
Exactly.
That's what I thought.
Market the whole time. Make poi. So that's the advice I would give. And go heat up your kūpuna. So heat up your anake, anatalo, can you show me that? Can you teach me that? You folks know, if you're watching me and you know me and you want to know, come my house. You can ask this girl right here. I've been open all my life. He never did knock my door one time. He was feeding these kids since they was. Yeah. So anyway, I will do that. And respect you, kūpuna. I mean, yeah. Pull on their ear and say, hey, teach me this. Please, right?
It's important. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Well, you're all I know about today. I'm glad you got the chance to talk today with you.
I am too. I'm so happy to be here and thank you for your doing. I'm lovely for what you do. Fantastic. Thank you for Gracie over here behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for another episode of Nā Loea Limu. We'll see you next time.
Oh, yeah.